club. But how much of a regret is it that he left at Chelsea? And what have you made of the player that he's become for West Ham and also for England?
Well, he's a fantastic player for West Ham and England. So fair play, because his journey there of leaving Chelsea and going to West Ham, it's a good story to hear, because there are lots of those stories for different reasons to whatever level, and that shows a strength of character. And in terms of from our end, I don't think, we certainly wouldn't use the word regret. Our academy is one of the best in the world. You look at our first team now, what the players that we've produced are in and around the first team squad. We've got so many. And it's not easy. It's not an exact science to pick, choose or whatever players. But the academy work brilliantly here and bring through a lot of good players. Declan Rice has given himself personal credit for going and having the great start to his career that he's had at West Ham.
Let's come to Olivia at PLP.
Hi Frank.
Hi.
You've been playing Timo Werner on the left more recently. We saw at the start of the season you playing him through the middle. Is it a case of Giroud and Tammy playing really well and not having available wingers is why you're playing Werner on the left? And long term, do you think you'll be playing him more through the middle?
Different reasons on that one, because we obviously, when we have a big reference of a target man, I get asked a lot, why am I not playing Tammy or Ollie or Tammy, whatever way around it is, all the time. And Timo, for Leipzig and for Germany, has played as a number 9 on the side, slightly behind sometimes. So he's played all those roles everywhere he's been. So I don't think it's a problem for him to play there for us. And he could be used in various roles across that front three.
And also, just a quick question on Kai Havertz. He has struggled, especially after the whole COVID thing. What do you think? We've seen him play, he's very versatile. We've seen him play on the right, we've seen him play in a midfield 3. What do you think his best position is? And do you think 4-3-3 suits him?
Yeah, I do think it suits him. He can play, and before his COVID period, he was playing very well on the right side of the 8, in the 8 position for us, and I think he can play various positions. He said that, but of course consistency in a position is sometimes a good thing, and that's what I want to get for him. But I think the reaction around Kai is, when you look and you really analyse what's happened here, Kai came in without any form of pre-season, just started to really play well early in the season and gets COVID, and now comes back, and all eyes are on because of the price tag. But I think we must have huge perspective here. I've mentioned some of the greatest players the Premier League's seen have taken time to succeed in the Premier League. Some of them have been and gone away and come back to the Premier League and become great players, and we all know who those examples are. So I'm not saying it will take a long time for Kai, but we have to give him a bit of time to settle in on and off the pitch, and that's what's happening. I'm very happy with him. I've got no problem with him, but for Chelsea fans and for us, we must give him time.
And just one final question. Against Wolves, we saw Pulisic obviously play on the left, and he was causing Semedo some real problems whenever he did, and then he made that switch to the right. Is that something that you as a manager tell them to do, or is that up to the players to make that switch during the game if it's, say, not going well?
Yeah, that's my decision. It can happen sometimes in game for how the game pans out and players cross over, and in those terms they maybe stay in that position for a while until they can cross back. But those are my decisions, because I have players on the wings that can play on both sides. Not all of them. Hakim Ziyech clearly has been more of a player that plays on the right, but with Timo, he's played left and right of a front 3 in his previous teams. The same for Christian, played left and right for Dortmund and did the same for us last year. And sometimes you feel like it could give the opposition a problem. When Christian moved to the right against Wolves, he dribbled into their box, went on a mazy run, nearly created a few things. So I like to have the option to change them at times.
Let's finish this section with one from Nick.
Hi Frank, thanks for your time as always. Just wondering, after the busy summer, would you anticipate doing any business in the January window? We know it's a really difficult window anyway. And just on Timo, obviously 8 games without a goal, that's not a particular problem. I'm sure you'd think he's got the strength of mind not to worry about the numbers in that way. Obviously strikers always want good numbers for goal return, don't they? But it's all swings and roundabouts, isn't it, really? And I'm sure he would view it in the same way, would he?
Yeah, firstly, I don't know about January, and I'll consider January when it's here. So I've got the squad, and we're working hard at the games that are in front of us. With Timo, yeah, any goal scorer will want to score regularly. Simple answer. But must have the mental toughness and confidence to go through periods, because everyone will go through them. Absolutely every striker. There's not been a striker in the history of the world that can manage to score game in, game out for a long career. So there's no problem on that front. He needs to remain confident. He needs to keep getting in the areas, and those goals will come without doubt.